Okay, at this time, we'll call to order the May 27th, 2026 council regular meeting to order. Please rise if you can for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Make a motion to adopt tonight's agenda.
Second that.
I have a motion and a second to the agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None heard. Sheriff's Office.
Good afternoon or evening, I suppose. I am Sergeant Yantos from the Sheriff's Office. This is my first time ever doing one of these. So I'll tell you what I was kind of asked to tell you, and then whatever questions you guys have from there, ask away. The current month of April, you had a total of 406 calls for service, slightly up from the month before that, but year to date, as far as 2025, you're about on par for those same calls for service. Hasn't increased a whole lot, or we're not seeing any drastic change in trends. A couple notable calls that we thought you would like to know. On April 11th, deputies were called to a report of a wrong-way driver on Highway 65. They stopped that vehicle, and after field sobriety tests, the driver was arrested and his blood alcohol content was a 0.18. On April 19th, deputies were called to respond to a call of a felony strangulation and a domestic assault. Deputies responded to an open 911 line where dispatchers could hear a lot of yelling and fighting in the background. While en route, deputies learned that the female who lived at the address had a restraining order against a male who they believed was involved. Dispatch did get a hold of the female, who asked deputies not show up. Deputies went anyway, and when the woman answered the door, a male who had warrants fled out the side of the house, and he was apprehended. Deputies later learned that a second male, who was the actual suspect of the felony assault, was hiding in a basement, and through the use of a canine, that male was apprehended and arrested for felony assault. Disorderly conduct involving 10 juveniles who were breaking glass and entering staff offices at Nexus. After investigating, 4 juveniles were charged with third-degree riot and first-degree damage to property. They were all arrested and booked into Lino Lakes Juvenile Detention Facility. That being said, what questions do you gentlemen have that I can answer, or try my best to answer?
Any questions? Looks
right.
like you're safe.
Perfect.
Great job.
Y'all enjoy your night.
Yep, you do. All right, Fire Chief.
Council, thanks for having us. For the month, we had 63 calls. The top 3 for medical were breathing difficulty, unconscious, and heart or chest pain. On the fire side, we had 5 motor vehicle crashes that we responded to, 3 structure fires, all of which were mutual aid to Ham Lake, Linwood, and Ramsey. We also had 2 small grass fires that were contained rather quickly by the crews on scene, along with the help from the DNR. Captain King, who is also our training officer, is exploring a couple of training grant opportunities, putting that together and seeing what's available and what classes we could bring in for either our department and or the region to get people to train together a little bit. The AFG grants opened last Monday. We're working on putting together the information needed to submit one of those grants. They opened suddenly with little warning, so we're working through all that, but there will be more to come on what and if we decide to pursue something this time or if we wait for the fall. The truck committee met with HME to start the process of building the new engine 11. Most of the details were figured out. This engine doesn't exist within HME's stock trucks. This is going to be one of their stock trucks, but it's truly a custom build for us, and then they're putting it into their line of revolving trucks. So we're working to optimize storage and functionality. The committee again met last night to figure out shelving and organization to make sure everything that we need to fit on these trucks is going to fit on the new one with its new configuration of a low hose bed while still carrying 1,000 gallons of water. So as we know more on that, again, we'll update council. Engine 31. Yesterday it went out and it got a tailboard put onto the back of the truck. So now our staff is able to actually climb on the back and get the hose down from the truck instead of having to climb up on the ladder and on top of the truck to get the hose down. So this is something that Station 3 staff had asked for, and we were able to make it happen. So happy to be able to have done that for them. We have 2 new applicants that have completed both interviews, both first and second round interviews. And it'll be my recommendation that they continue on to the background process. So we'll be moving that forward. The DNR is allowing burning permits to be issued. We are still in a moderate fire danger. So I would just to remind everybody that if you're going to have a fire, make sure you have the permit, but also make sure you have an extinguishing method, and also give us a call before it gets too far out of hand. One of the grass fires that we had that was small was actually from a legal rec fire, but an ember got out of the fire and started some other grasses on fire. And then last and certainly not least, we have 5 academy members, fire academy members that are graduating on June 9th. These 5 new hires, which were last August new hires, have dedicated about 160 hours of classroom time and countless hours of study and prep work to get to this point. I would like to thank them and their families for the big commitment that they've made through this time. With that, I would stand for any questions.
I just got one question, Chief. I was looking at the bills, and on page 32, the last one, Snap Fitness for $1,800. What's that about?
One of our members took the initiative and spoke with Snap Fitness. They have supplied 5 memberships or key tags for all department members to use. So with being a member of the department, they're able to come grab one of those keys, go to Snap Fitness, work out, return it, and they don't have to pay that extra membership. So it's one of those benefits that we're able to offer people to incentivize them to go work out, be healthy, take care of themselves, and it's also a benefit for retention and hopefully for recruitment.
That's a great idea, I think. That's really good.
Mike Howe is the one that should be credited with that. He
Mike,
brought it to our
okay.
attention and did a lot of the legwork on it,
That's
along
good.
with Deputy Chief Uden.
Yeah, because the way I understand it, there's not much room at the station to do this, so that's really great that you have a place you can go to.
Yeah.
That's super.
Yeah.
Tell them thank you.
It was great of Snap Fitness to work with us too and be able to offer that up to us.
Yeah, great. Tell that owner thank you as well.
We will.
Yeah, that's a huge savings, actually, for the entire department can use it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wow.
You have to be an active member.
that's really
It
good.
doesn't transfer to family members or anything like that. But, we have 33-ish members right now, 34. 2 more coming on. I mean, yeah,
That's really great.
it's a great benefit.
Thank you.
Good, thanks.
You can proceed into your next deal.
I'll just stay. Well, as with what was started a year ago, we are swearing in and pinning our new firefighters or new officers when those appointments come up. David Bailey is here tonight to be sworn in as a lieutenant at Station 1. David Bailey has been a member of the East Bethel Fire Department since 2024. after serving on another Metro Fire Department for many years. Though his time has been limited, his impact on the department has been large. David has a can-do attitude, a get-it-done attitude. Since he's joined the department, which has been infectious to everyone around him. The ultimate team player, his drive and determination while mastering his craft, as well as problem solving, is rewarding to observe. Mid-2025, David stepped forward, becoming a mentor to our new candidates, and he has gone above and beyond in his efforts to make sure they have a smooth transition to the life on the department. David works full-time at a local refinery on the safety and maintenance squad, which further benefits the department through his expertise in hazmat and specialized rescue training. David is truly a committed professional, and we congratulate him on his well-deserved promotion to the rank of lieutenant.
All right, good evening, everybody. I know we kind of just went through this about a month or two ago, but I'm going to read through it again just so that anybody that may have missed it the last time can understand the significance of our badge and bugles. In the fire service, we carry our history on our collars. Long before the era of digital radios and high decibel sirens, the bugle was the primary tool of command. In the heat and roar of a blaze, a fire officer would use a brass speaking trumpet or a bugle to shout orders that could be heard over the crashing of timber and the hiss of steam. The number of bugles on your badge and your collar today represents the weight of your voice. 1 bugle for a lieutenant, 2 for a captain, and more for the chiefs. But this symbol is more than just a rank. It's a reminder that your words carry the power to protect or to peril. To wear the bugles is to accept the responsibility of being the calm voice in the middle of the storm. It signifies that you are the one who directs the line, ensures the safety of your crew, and leads them back home. Lead by example, stay safe, and congratulations to you on this achievement. So at this point, we'd like to invite your family or friends or whoever's here up. We're going to have them install your new badge with your 1 bugle on it for lieutenant. All right, at this point, the chief is going to administer the oath of office.
David, if you would, please raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, David Bailey,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will serve the citizens
that I will serve the citizens
and firefighters of East Bethel
and firefighters of East Bethel
with honor and integrity,
with honor and integrity,
that I will, in all respects,
that I will in all respects
observe the provisions of the
observe the provisions of the
Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the United States,
State of Minnesota,
the State of Minnesota,
and the Code of East Bethel,
and the Code of East Bethel,
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the position assigned to me
the duties of the position assigned to me
to the best of my judgment and abilities,
to the best of my judgment and abilities,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Thank you for the time.
All right.
Moving forward to item 4C.
Let me just get to the page here real quick, sorry, Mr. Mayor. Okay, Mr. Mayor and Council, we have before you here this evening a request for a hearing relating to a dog attack incident that occurred on April 4th, 2026. The Anoka County Sheriff's Office reported that a black and white American Bully mixed dog owned by Douglas Jones approached in a threatening manner and bit a domestic dog belonging to David Koch on private property at 24011 Fillmore Street Northeast. Since the incident was unprovoked, off the owner's property, and not under control by the owner, and reported and cited by the investigating deputy as a potentially dangerous dog pursuant to Chapter 10 of the City Code, based on the incident report, which is attached there. A potentially dangerous dog notice was issued relating to the incident. Just by way of definition, a potentially dangerous dog means any dog that, when unprovoked, inflicts bites on a human or domestic animal on public or private property, when unprovoked chases or approaches a person, including a person on a bicycle, upon streets, sidewalks, or any public or private property other than the dog's owner's property in an apparent attitude of attack, and or has a known propensity, tendency, or disposition to attack unprovoked, causing injury to otherwise threatening the safety of humans and domestic animals. The owner of the dog submitted a written request to appeal this decision this evening, and has that right to do so, to contest this, but they had not responded to the certified mail notice of a hearing before the city council meeting. So a couple of options that council can consider this evening: one, to conduct a hearing allowing the owner to present reasons why the potentially dangerous dog determination should be removed. Two, if the potentially dangerous dog determination is sustained, identify the action to be taken, to include disposing of the animal or allowing the owner to keep the animal with restrictions. Or three, if the potentially dangerous dog determination is not sustained, making a determination that the animal is to be released without further action from or by the city council. And just kind of going to read through, if you do sustain it with stipulations on the owner, some of the stipulations could be that the owner provide and maintain a proper enclosure, that the owner posts the front and rear of the premises with clear visible warning signs, that the standardized tag identifies the dog as potentially dangerous, that the owner provides proof of annually of public liability insurance paid in full in the minimum amount of $300,000, that the dog must be muzzled and restrained by a substantial chain or leash when outside of the enclosure, and restrained by someone older than 18 years old. And this potentially dangerous dog be registered with the city within 14 days after the dog has been deemed so. The dog must have a lifetime license and be up to date on rabies vaccinations, that the owner must allow a compliance officer on the owner's property to conduct a site inspection within 14 days of determination of potentially dangerous dog by the city council. If the owner does not meet these requirements or requirements imposed upon them, ordered by the council, that within 14 days of the notice of the animal can be seized. And then finally, a registration fee. The owner of the dog that has been declared potentially dangerous shall pay an annual registration fee to the city of $250, in addition to any regular dog licensing fees, which we don't have, and a reasonable fee to cover the administrative costs within 14 days of this declaration. So those are the standard requirements that we have in our code under sections 10.72. And so what I would ask is that you call a hearing, and if people would like to testify one way or the other in support or not, We can take that testimony and then close the hearing, make a determination.
I do have a quick question. If you read these reports, one dated on, was it 4/26? And in the notice of potentially dangerous dog form here, it says the dog's age is around 13 months. Well, in some of the other reports, and this dog apparently has multiple ones dating back to 10/21. Are we talking about the same dog here?
This would be a
Different
good
dogs?
question for the testifiers.
We'll discuss that after. We'll let these
Yep.
people in the public hearing talk first.
Okay, well, I'm just wondering if we were talking
So-
about the same dog.
So at this time, I'll open up the public hearing of this, and for you residents to speak, come up here, state your name and address.
Okay, hi, I'm Verna Campbell, and my address is 24021 Fillmore Street Northeast, so I live 2 houses away. Couple things that I have concerns about. We've been having issues with this dog since '21. It's been ongoing. The dog has bitten people, kids, children on their bikes, has tried to attack my son's dog, a little tiny Yorkie. Thank goodness my son had a larger dog that actually diverted it and saved the little dog. It has approached me angrily, like it will corner me in my house for no reason. I have a covered entryway. It's cornered me in my house. So with all these issues that we've had going on, instead of fixing the issue that they have with the one dog, they decided to get another. So your question, is there one dog? No, there's 2 now. I don't have confidence that their second dog's not gonna turn out the same as the first dog. As far as like the enclosures, I don't have confidence in that either, because the dog has broken through the fence, wood. They put chicken wire, I think it was chicken wire up over it to try to hold it in. As far as a sign saying it's a dangerous dog, I don't think that's an option either, because you don't have to go to the property. You would have to go to the property to see it's a dangerous dog to have a sign. That's not gonna help anybody. The dog goes off of the property and tries to attack people off the property, so a sign is not gonna help at all. As far as talking to him, that doesn't help either, because we've repeatedly asked him, keep it contained, doesn't do it. Putting a muzzle on the dog, it would be inhumane. They leave it outside in the heat at night, barks nonstop. How is the dog gonna drink water? How is the dog gonna, you know what I mean? Like, that's not feasible. They have recently started walking the dog, which they're having problems controlling it now. It, you know, like gets aggressive towards people when they're walking it, which I don't think the son should be out walking the dog if they can't control it and it's already labeled as a aggressive dog. Why would you be taking it out in the public and walking it and not being able to control it? So there's like the list of things that you gave, in my opinion, those are not good options. I feel sorry for the dog because I don't think it's the dog's fault. I think it's the owner's fault. I think that's how they're raised or how they're trained, but that's just my opinion on it.
All right, thank you.
Mayor, Ms. Gamble, could you do 2 things? One, could you spell your last name for the record? And also, you indicated there was 2 dogs, but you talked about 1 dog. I want to make sure, I want to identify those 2 dogs and make it very clear what dog you were actually referencing primarily.
Sure. It is like a grayish, they're the same type of dog, but
Okay, so we have
one's
2 dogs,
blackish
one Brutus and
gray.
one Daisy.
yep.
And the one that you've been talking about primarily has been the one that they've had for a long period of
Yep, the
time?
blackish gray white
Okay.
color, yeah.
And you spell your last name
Oh,
how?
yep, it's Campbell, Campbell.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to get the record a little straight.
Hello, Council. I'm Taylor Cook, and this is my husband, David Cook. Last name is Koch. And we live on the 24011 Fillmore Street Northeast. And I did give Matt look, I remember I gave you pictures of how their fence looks, how you can, so I don't know if he can give you guys copies of that too, about how that dog can escape from their fence. It is like a lattice type of fence on our side, and then it's regular wood fence like on the other part. And there's a bunch of patches of them trying to patch the holes, and my husband said just, I think it was Saturday, he just saw the dog trying to like make another hole or rip off some more boards again. And we have 3 young kids. Our oldest is 7.5, our middle is 5.5, and our youngest is 2.5. And they were all outside on the incident on that April 4th one. We were all outside in the front yard. My husband was cutting wood, splitting wood for our wood stove, and then my oldest son, he was rollerblading with his hockey stick and stuff, and my mom, she was the one who made the call to the sheriff because her and I just got back from shopping. And then she was just dropping me off, and my other 2 came out to say hi to grandma and stuff. And then all of a sudden that's when the dog just came over, and this one is Brutus. He's the one who came and attacked and stuff. Came and attacked our dog on our property, and as you can see in the reports, my husband had to hit it like 3 or 4 times with my son's hockey stick to get it, finally get off, and then he had to drag it to their house. None of them in that house came out to see or anything. And then, so ever since that incident happened, my kids, they are afraid to go outside in our own yard. Every day they always ask, is the dog outside? Is the dog outside? So we always have to go now in our backyard, out on our deck where we can see their backyard, and I always have to check and say, nope, the dog is not outside, let's go outside. And now we have to play outside in the backyard so we can have a safe, like, to see if the dog is out. And now I always have to think, okay, what do I have by me to keep me safe if that dog does come out? What am I going to use to defend myself? And I really don't want to keep living like that, and I don't want my kids to be afraid to go in their own yard. It's summer. I want them outside. I don't want them just sitting in the house playing electronics and stuff. I want them playing outside. And I miss seeing my 7-year-old rollerblade. He has not rollerbladed or asked once to rollerblade anymore ever since that happened. And so it's just, I would really love something to be done, if anything. Like, me personally and my kids personally would love it to see if that dog was taken away. Because I don't like living in fear. I don't like seeing my kids live in the fear. So, thank you, council. I don't have really anything else to say. If you guys have any questions.
So Brutus is the original dog that started this?
He's the new one. Brutus is the new
Brutus
one.
is the new one.
Yes, he's the younger one.
And the other one was Daisy?
Yes, yep.
And that's the one from the original report back in '21.
Yes, yep.
Okay.
I just don't think they're fit to have dogs. They don't train them. And that Brutus dog too, they have this tire swing in their backyard hanging from a tree, and that dog will just hang on that thing and tear it apart and stuff. And one of the people who live there, I think it's the boyfriend, he will have to literally grab the dog with 2 hands on the back and pull him up to take him back into the house, because that dog will not listen to them.
So when did they get Brutus?
When was that? Yep.
Okay.
After we had several reports. 23 or 24. Yeah, then they decided to get another one after dealing with it for years already, the other dog. Then they decided to get another one instead of taking the one that they had. That makes sense, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
City Council. I'm David Cook, her husband. My wife pretty much nailed it. We're not dealing with a lab or a Springer Spaniel. 2 pit bulls. I mean, they're machines. Have you ever seen them attack anything? They don't stop. I mean, if I have to take a hockey stick and swing at them, hit them 4 times without letting go, there's a problem. I don't think I'm not a small guy. I think I'm actually pretty strong. But I'm doing this, I don't want to be here, obviously, like anybody else. But I'm doing this for my kids. They are scared. They ask every time, like my wife said, if the dog is outside. And my oldest son is PTSD, I'm sure, because he will not, if he sees that dog outside, he's in the house. And there's no questions asked. It's done deal. And also being outside, why should I have to feel like I need to protect myself in my own yard because that dog can come through their fence, their picket fence? I shouldn't have to look what kind of weapons I have or have something in my garage that can dispose of that dog in a hurry. So that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Thanks for listening.
Has there ever been an incident with both dogs at the same time?
Not at the same time.
Okay.
Quick question. In your opinion, if they had a different style fence, taller chain length, something that totally was metal that it couldn't bite through or break off boards?
My opinion is there better be cement underneath it.
Okay.
Because that dog will dig and go under.
Okay.
But I mean, it doesn't take long for that dog. I was watching it Saturday. It's trying to rip boards off that fence to get out. So, yes, I would like to see the dog move on. Either disposed or rehomed somewhere else. That is my opinion.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
No. Anybody else then? I don't see nobody. At this time, I'll close the public hearing part of it, and council will have discussion.
And I guess, will you guys be in contact then after the decision, or will you be emailed or anything? I'm sorry, I don't know how this.
Yeah, this
really works.
is recording right now, so you'll be able to, see what
Yeah.
the decision is if you don't stick around.
Okay.
Yeah, you can stay if you want.
Okay, thank you.
Doesn't make mention of any of the names in any of the reports.
No.
That's what's hard on this is,
Yeah.
which dog are we gonna treat?
My concern though is that with the kids.
No, I agree
because
100% there.
It's unfortunate, these type of dogs, some people swear by them, say they're decent, but.
My daughter's
heard-
got a gray one, and you go up to that thing, it'll lay right down on the ground. It's a
Really?
big baby.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's
I've
in
heard-
the way they're raised.
Yeah,
It's the way they're raised.
And Mr. Mayor and Council, what I will say is, if the dangerous dog is sustained here this evening, that will follow the dog. So if they try and rehome it somewhere else, that goes with the dog, making it difficult to rehome at that point.
Right.
Mayor, since we are dealing with a dangerous dog determination, I would suggest, so that the record's very clear, that you first deal with one dog named Brutus, and make the determination, whether it is a dangerous dog, then move on to Daisy, make that determination, and then, depending upon that determination, then decide what disposition with respect to each of them. Just so that the record is very clear as to the council's decision with respect to each dog.
Well, are both dogs up for potentially dangerous? Because it sounded like only one dog attacked the small one.
No, I think it started as Daisy started the deal, and then they didn't get the other one till, what, 23, so there's twice that the,
But I'm
20
looking,
and 21, that would be Daisy.
yeah,
Yeah, Brutus wasn't brought in till 23.
yeah, I'm looking at the 4/4/26 report.
Right.
This is the current one that, Brutus, that spurred the potentially dangerous dog.
Okay, for that,
So that the rest of the reports were, just incident reports.
right.
Yeah,
So let's
that's
deal
why
with
I
Brutus first then. Let's deal with Brutus first.
So we have Brutus, but the, Daisy, is Daisy up for potentially dangerous dog?
Well,
Was that dog involved in this incident?
not in this 2026 incident, but the earlier ones. If they're unprovoked and they chase or approaches a person in an apparent attitude of attack, doesn't mean that they are attacking, but if you have a loose definition of that, Daisy would fall into a potentially dangerous at that point.
Okay.
So the only citations, if you're going off their records of when the dogs came in the issue, the only 2 citations would be against Brutus.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I asked. I mean, reading the reports, it's like, wait a minute,
Yeah, I didn't catch that at first.
the ages don't match. She said she sent you pictures of their fence?
Yeah, those, I did receive them. I'm trying to recall where they went. They might have gone in the property file under the complaint. Essentially, dogs chew on fences. That's, wood fences. They try and chew on sticks, and if they can't find those, they'll chew on fences. So it's not
Well, this one chews
unusual.
on car tires.
Yeah. So the fencing is definitely inadequate. That's probably a good starting point, but
Well, I would move to say that Brutus is definitely a potentially dangerous dog.
I would agree with that.
So Councilmember Mundell, that would be a second.
Was,
I'll make a motion to that, yes.
okay, I will second Mayor's motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Mr. Look, when our compliance officer goes out to review the property, I assume that would probably be our building official, and he can make a determination on whether that fence is adequate or not. And
yeah. Mr. Mayor and Councilmember Mundell, typically they'll go out to enforce the restrictions that you've placed on this property. So if they have to build a kennel, a certain type of kennel with a concrete floor, then he would go out to inspect to make sure that was done.
But he'd be making a determination on that.
Right. As
Okay.
far as the fence that currently is there, we know they're getting out of that, so that's.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah, I'm not saying the fence that they have is adequate, because obviously it is not.
Right.
And we definitely can't have neighborhood kids being terrorized.
No.
That's not gonna fly.
No. So the decision you would have then is A, dispose of the animal, or B, allow the owners to keep the animal with restrictions, and then what are those restrictions? And
Well, let's get through the first motion here. Have any more discussion on the motion? None being heard. All those in favor of the potentially Dangerous dog?
Aye.
Opposed? None heard. Now let's go into discussion on what we want to do here.
Was the owner notified of our meeting tonight
Yes.
about this?
Yeah, there's.
They did not respond to the certified mail notice.
Yeah. And in one deal, it says he wouldn't contest it anyway.
Well, yeah, the mayor and council, the owner submitted a written request to appeal this decision, but did not respond to the certified mail notice of the hearing tonight, so
And
Not
there's
sure.
obviously not in attendance.
I don't know. Somebody else maybe signed for it and he didn't get it, I don't know. I can't explain that, but.
Well, I think the only way this is gonna fly, if we have to figure out a way to make this yard a containment center so that the neighbors feel safe. I mean, other than that, there's not a lot that can be done.
Yeah, we have the two options. You dispose or we put restrictions. And if you're going to look at restrictions, you got 1 through 8 there. So definitely, I think you would need number 1.
Yeah. I'd say at a minimum 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, I had 1, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So, yeah. If we can come to a agreement on which ones we want, we can move forward with that. We're all in agreement, we don't want it disposed of.
Not at this time.
Okay, I just want to make sure of that, clarify it. So, we're into the,
What did you have, 1?
1, 4,
5, 6.
5, 6, 7, 8.
I think I can agree with that.
Something like this, so it's like, what kind of a time limit do we put on it for this guy to get it done?
I believe 8 states, 14 days.
To have it completed in what we're requesting?
Yeah, it's got to be completed 14 days for our compliance official to go out and look at it.
I have no problem with those. I have no problem with 1 through 8 either. That's all of them. I
Yeah.
agree to those.
And with this, I assume, if we look under here, B, seizure, the animal control authority shall seize any potentially dangerous dog if the owner does not meet each of the above requirements ordered by council within 14 days after the date notice is sent to the owner. Would that still be in effect? So if these items are not completed within 14 days, that animal could potentially be seized. Okay.
You want to make your motion?
We'll send Nate over to do that.
Yeah, I can make a motion to apply items 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 to the aforementioned potentially dangerous dog known as Brutus.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I'm almost thinking 1 through 8 and B. I mean, this is some serious stuff that we're talking here, and
Yeah,
I think everything should be laid out there.
I can include 2 and 3 as well.
I think
And I just asked about B, and Mr. Look confirmed that that would be included no matter what. So we don't have to include that in the motion.
Okay.
So, I'll make a friendly amendment to my own motion to include all 1 through 8 requirements.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for 1 through 8. Any further discussion? None being heard. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None heard. Motion passes. Now, as far as the other dog, there's never a citation that we know of on this one. So,
Mr. Mayor and council, perhaps what I would recommend is, seeing as they're required to build an enclosure, that this dog would have to be in that enclosure too.
It would benefit from what we're doing.
the only thing I don't like is we've got one already a potentially dangerous and the other one kind of iffy, and now you're putting them together. And now you're creating a double standard here. It's gonna be a mess. But we still gotta act on it.
Yeah, my only response to that is that dogs learn from dogs. And, I don't know, if Daisy learned some bad traits that would now be threatening to kids as well, that's a risk. But
So let's first off, we need to declare if Daisy's gonna be considered potentially dangerous. That's what we need to decide.
Mayor, council members, maybe this can assist. You did have some testimony from the residents, the neighbors, with respect to Daisy as well, so that is evidence before you, albeit it is the dog Brutus that had the incident that initiated this particular action and the and then the record that you have as far as previous incident reports is July 2021, October 2021. Those clearly had to do with Daisy, since that predated that 2024-23. What is not clear, at least to me, and maybe it is clear to you, is whether that October 2023 report is with respect to Brutus or Daisy. But there is sufficient bases for you to proceed forward on the dangerous dog issue with respect to Daisy.
So in other words, we can include Daisy, basically.
If you believe that that record is sufficient for a determination of potentially dangerous dog, there's sufficient evidence, in my view, for that determination. There is evidence, obviously, within your discretion to determine otherwise as well. It does make sense for you to then consider that, since both dogs are in the same ownership, whether the same type of restrictions would naturally follow. Again, that's within your discretion. So I'm just trying to give you some guideposts and not, and stay in my lane and let you do your job.
I appreciate that.
I have a question, Eric. There's two ways I'm thinking about this. One, the dog that we've just discussed has these restrictions, and the homeowner has these restrictions. Looking at it from that point of view, his other dog would have to follow and live underneath those same restrictions, because that's what's gonna be done to his yard and so forth if he so chooses. At the same time, Mayor, you make a good point, is that what happens with this other dog if it actually does hurt somebody? Are we setting up the city for something?
Yeah,
If we don't declare one and the other one gets out, and they're from the same house, same type of dog, same thing, everything, are we safer as a city to put both of them under the same restrictions at the same time? Or just thinking, okay, we're gonna do this for one dog, now you got a big fence, you have all this other stuff you have to do. You're in the same house, you have to abide by the same rules there. That may not happen, and if that doesn't happen, are we in a bad position? Because one, don't wanna do that, and we don't want another, kid to be terrorized by a dog out there.
Mayor, Councilmember Miller, I'm going to break that down into basically, I think, kind of two ways of approaching your question. If you're talking about, is the city in a liability situation, regardless of what decision it makes with respect to Daisy? No. Does you create, however, a safety type of challenge or conflict if you impose restrictions on Brutus, but don't impose similar restrictions or even declare with respect to Daisy, potentially dangerous dog, and then something? How does that basically unfold? There's a possibility that the owner decides not to implement any of those restrictions or fails to implement all 8 with respect to Brutus. So then what happens? Brutus then is, seized and either is a new home or disposed of and so forth and not returned, or that particular homeowner appeals, or after that 14 days gets into compliance with those 8 restrictions. But if not, then all of a sudden you have the same type of situation, rickety, well, I'm not going to say rickety, I'm just going to say wooden fence because I haven't seen the fence, but it's a wooden fence, obviously inadequate to, enclose and keep that dog enclosed, so forth, either dog. But you don't have any restrictions with respect to Daisy. You're really having to start all over again with respect to Daisy. As I stated before, you make the decision as to potentially dangerous dog or not. But if you don't have any, on Daisy, you don't have any controls over Daisy. If you want to have controls over Daisy, there is sufficient evidence before this board to declare potentially dangerous dog. And then, in the judgment of this council, you have sufficient basis to impose all or part of those restrictions on Daisy as well. I hope that answered your question.
It did.
With that said, I'll make a motion that we make Daisy a potentially dangerous dog also.
1 second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? None being heard. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None being. Stipulations? Requirements?
Well, it has to be one, for sure.
I would say same as what we did with Brutus, because he's got to do that automatically anyway.
Through 8.
I'll make a motion 1 through 8.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? None being heard. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None heard. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Eric. All right. Consent agenda. Now, there's nobody on the list, is there, Eric?
Public forum.
Oh, no one has signed in?
You guys didn't sign in? Come on.
Okay. No
It's
one
your
has
lucky
signed in,
day.
Mayor.
All right, consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Yeah, I want to pull B. That it? That's it. Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept the consent agenda as amended. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None being. Item B.
I only have one thing, Matt. Page 50 and number 7. It says, with Smith here, it says noted he has gotten many emails. I didn't get any emails, they were just phone calls. And that's it on that one. So I'll make a motion to approve item B on the consent agenda.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any further discussion? None being heard. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None heard. All right, let's go down, I guess, item 9A.
Mr. Mayor and Council, just a couple items to update you on. I did already cover the Nexus issue. We covered that in work session. But again, we're just trying to keep an eye on where the state's rolling in on that licensure, as it can impact the taxable status of the building, obviously, and also the CUP, the conditional use permit. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. In Ms. Urkel's absence, I will just say that the Anoka County Blaine Airport Committee has a Wednesday, June 3rd meeting at 4 p.m. If anyone is interested in attending that, I know she always advertises for them on their meetings that are coming up. And then also a Cedar Creek tour on June 10th at 1 to 3 p.m. They have a new director over there, so we'll get a chance to meet him and kind of see some of the work that they're doing over there. And I know that council members have taken tours in the past and have enjoyed it, so it should be a wonderful experience to go on that. But aside from that, I think I'm good, unless there's any questions.
I'd just ask with the dangerous dogs that we just had, that after the 14 days, can you update council on what the ongoings?
I'd like to add to that too, is like, this is important, I feel. Will a sheriff be delivering the paperwork to them? Would that be the best way to do it, since they didn't get the registered letter before, or they didn't respond?
Yeah, well, the process would be a registered letter.
I'm just saying, because obviously they weren't here. Would it be better to have a deputy just hand them the paperwork and say, here you go? Then there won't be any excuses. I don't know what the rest of council thinks.
Fine by me.
Yep,
Okay, we can do a redundant.
that's all I got.
Good idea.
That's it, Matt?
That's all I have, yep.
All right, council reports? I have nothing.
No.
Okay, with nothing, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.